What's going on, y'all? Happy Sunday. Again, this is my review of The Idol Season 1, Episode 2, Double Fantasy. Getting right into it. So I think, of course, because I rewatched Episode 1, which I still love. Episode 2 came on tonight, of course, but few things. We did peep Maddie from Insecure in Season 1, Episode 1 in the club dance, and it was like a 3-second snippet of her. So she was in there. And of course, I incorrectly probably pronounced Divine's name as Devine. She plays Destiny, who was my favorite character on the show. But also, we find out that I'm Just a Freak, or I'm a Freak, which is Jocelyn's new single to launch her comeback. It's called World Class Center, which is how the show begins. So Jocelyn has the whole team there. Haim, Nikki, who is the label head, A&R, Destiny, Leia, the whole team is there. And she plays a new version of World Class Center that she has remixed with Tedros after their night together. And, he's educating her on Prince and Donna Summer, all of that stuff. Well, Jane Adams, who plays Nikki, Jane Adams has been around forever, first of all. Y'all know Jane. But Nikki is probably my other favorite character on the show because she's so raw and so real. And she really is channeling what it is to be an A&R and to be a label exec, and how raw and how hard they are to the pop girls in the game who are manufactured pop stars. This is how they treat them. That said, Jocelyn comes to them, wants to do this version instead of the pop sped up version of World Class Center, and they immediately say no. Well, Nikki needs to let her know a few things. Number one, I done pumped $1 million into you to even get this done. They have a video shoot coming up. The song goes to radio next Friday, so they have all these different things. The shoots have been approved, the director has been picked, the dancers have been picked, everything. The choreography's done, everything. They're preparing for another comeback tour because they had to cancel her last tour due to the fact that Jocelyn's mother passed away of cancer. So Nikki's giving her the rundown. I done sent you around the world with $1 million producers, pump millions into you. We got a big titty hit EP coming. I'm not doing this with you this time around. I can't waste more money. At the end of the day, you need to appear grateful. The answer is no. You're not doing that version. We're doing the version that is commercial. We're doing the version that is a pop hit. We're doing that version. Well, after that, Haim goes to the room and talks to Jocelyn, lets her know, listen, we ain't going to win this round. Nikki said what she said. It just was what it was. We need a radio-friendly comeback, and this is what we're going to do. So after that, they end up going to the video shoot for World Class Center. I want to call it Freak, and I'm Just a Freak, or I'm a Freak so bad, but it's called World Class Center. So they go there, and the vibe gives you very much... even the vibe of this entire episode, it kind of gives you a Britney Spears during the blackout era. Even the video shoot kind of is Slave for You, Give Me More, inspired. And they open up with the first shot, which is performance dancers. And Jocelyn probably goes through this particular shot. She's very, very hell-bent on doing this particular shot all day. I mean, all day, to the point where her feet are bleeding and bloody to the point where she can barely move. She starts to become fatigued and delirious. She starts to call out for her mother. And she wants to go over it over and over and over and over and over and over again. They spend the entire day. The director's pissed off. Nikki's there. She's pissed off. They cost them probably $450,000 a day to do this. And it's just not going well. Vanity Fair is still around, so Talia from Vanity Fair is, documenting all of this, trying to figure out exactly what's going on with her. And Jocelyn ends up getting into a breakdown right in the middle of the set, in the middle of the shoot. Destiny's there to talk to her. I don't care about the people. I care about you. You're the reason everybody here is employed. In the middle of the shoot, we see Nikki, and this is how they do in the game. This is how they do in the industry. You've seen it happen in many a group, in several labels. Members have been swapped in and out. We saw this happen on Making the Band. This is how Making the Band was chosen. You feel what I'm saying? This is how Danity Kane was chosen. Does she sing better than her? Who dances better? Who pumps out star quality more? Well, Nikki, you guys remember Diane from the first episode, who was the stand-in for Josh to do these moves and whatever the case may be. Who's also a friend of hers who brought her to the club of Tedros. Well, Nikki sees Diane and goes, "Who's that girl? She's out dancing everybody. Can she sing?" Well, in the middle of all of this going on, Nikki pulls Diane aside. "Sing this." "Okay, you got a great voice." I forget, is it not Audible, but Audible or somebody like that. I forget the name of the person. Take her to Studio 5 or whatever the case may be. Have her lay down a track. See, Nikki is a suit. Nikki is in the game. Nikki's in the industry. At the end of the day, I like you, but I got to think about how to keep this money coming in. I got to think about how I'm going to recoup. I got to think about these budgets. I got to think about how I'm going to make good on my investment, because you playing right now, and I got to make the money back, or I've lost everything. Like we did the first time when we refunded the tour tickets because you had a nervous breakdown right before you were supposed to go to Madison Square Garden because you was on the roof talking to outer space. So we see how that goes, and this is how the pop game is. This is how the industry is. You know what I'm saying? What one won't do, another will. We've seen several people who were stand-ins become the next big thing. We've seen several background singers and dancers become the main event overnight. So in the middle of this, of Jocelyn wanting to get the perfect shot and get the perfect shoot, they finally get the perfect shot that she's been gunning for, to where all the counts are right. She's remembered to sing everything. Everything's on point. All the dancers are on point. Everybody's hitting their marks. After all of the take 5, take 10s, take 15s. Well, in the middle of this, the director, Kim, is looking at the camera. They can't see anything. Why? The camera's out of focus. Nobody yells cut. Nobody says stop. Nobody says anything. They're like, yo, I hope it's recording. Is any of this being recorded? Everybody's in a panic. Jocelyn gets off stage. Excited, happy. I finally nailed it. Now we can move on to the next shot. After working this one shot all day and this one scene all day. Well, Kim had to break the news to her. We didn't catch any of that. The camera was out of focus. At that point, Jocelyn was done. She goes back to the stage and just completely melts down. She's in tears. She can't believe it. And I believe that she's doing all of this because Tedros has given her this inspiration of, you're the artist, you're the star, and you can do this. You're more than just what they tell you are. You're really, in charge of this whole thing. And after that, it didn't even work out the way that she thought. She was even more hurt after that. So Nikki goes to the stage and is like, listen, I'm worried about you. This don't seem right. You don't seem right. Let's just call it a day. We'll come back tomorrow. Jocelyn knows that she's not going to come back tomorrow. She knows that this is it. We were supposed to be done with this shoot by now, basically. We've been here all day long, and we didn't get the best take that we got because you wanted to keep rerunning this. And when they get back to the house the next day, Chaim lets Jocelyn know Nikki canceled the shoot. She scrapped it. Of course she did. Why? Because Nikki's moving on. Nikki getting ready to drop this girl from the label. That's what I'm catching. Nikki getting ready to get rid of her. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing what I'm asking you to do. I'm not getting a turn on my investment, all the money I'm pumping into you. This ain't working. You ain't ready yet. I got to move on to the next thing. So, let's see. She also begged at the shoot. I forgot this part. She begged to pay for it out of pocket. And, let's see. Oh, yeah, because she wanted to delay the shoot. That's right. She wanted to delay the shoot. She was like, listen, let's just delay it. I'll pay for it out of pocket. And Chaim was also telling her, too, listen, let's not delay it because if we don't get this done now, they're not going to think that you're ready to go on tour. They're going to think you ain't ready for this comeback. And we also don't realize, or nor has it been apparent or spoken of, but Diane is a member of Blackpink in real life, who is the, probably best-selling K-pop girl group and the biggest one that has been able to cross over. I say girl group. BTS is probably the biggest boy band from K-pop that's been able to cross over. And Diane ends up, I guess, is, gonna be the one who's up next. She's probably gonna be the one that takes the spot. If we're gonna be real about it, I guarantee you the EP of songs is probably gonna end up going to her. Um, let's see. After the scene and the video all got scrapped, I guarantee you, it hasn't been said, but it seems like the video is probably going to be shot with Diane, and we also end up seeing a scene where Tedros is in a club, the club, and it's starting to become very clear because in the beginning of the episode, she's on the phone with Tedros trying to get a hold of him, and when can I see you? When can I see you? I played the song for them, they didn't like it. I want to see you. Not tomorrow, not the day after that. She's like, I got a video shoot after that. Okay, well, day after that. And Tedros is starting to be revealed as what he really is. He's not really just a business owner. It's kind of like, okay, you lead a cult, dude. It really is like, it looks like a sex dungeon type of cult situation. He has the one dude, Isaac, blonde hair, black dude, who is, I think, being controlled with some sort of electric sex mechanism. I'm not even sure. It was very weird, very bizarre. Either way, I guess this cult of people are artists that Tedros manages, and I guess he considers them his, signees to his label, whatever label he may have. Diane, who introduced Jocelyn to this club that Tedros owns, is also part of this. And it turns out that Diane, I guess, is a plant, and Tedros is beginning to be a con man. At the video shoot, Destiny talks to Haim and lets him know, I got some information from my dude. Tedros is from Hawaii. His name is Tedros. He's up to his ears in debt, owes a lot of people a lot of money. So basically this is what this is. They're trying to get answers out of Leia. Leia's not really trying to be too forward because she's also getting involved with Isaac. She was on the phone with him as Joss was on the phone with Tedros. So she's trying to get to know him. She likes him, all of this other stuff. And we find out that Tedros is, I guess, trying to put Diane there purposely. And I think he's trying to sabotage Jocelyn's career for Diane to be able to take the spot. And even when Diane goes to him and says, well, is she a better what than me, the F word, because I guess they're supposed to be together. And she was like, yeah, Nikki wants to sign me. And he was like, good, maybe I could finally get a turn on my investment or return on you, or whatever the case may be. And that's how it's kind of revealed that Tedros is indeed a con man and is trying to move in on Joss. He sees, I think he's preying on her fragile state. I think he sees how her mental state is ready to snap like a twig, and he sees that he can prey on that. Like a lot of people do. Like a lot of con men do. So, after all that, Tedros brings his crew over, the cult. I guess his artist. Brings them over to Jocelyn's house. We see a girl named Chloe who sings and runs around naked the entire time. Very talented girl, but just is naked the entire time. She found out Joss had a pool, 2 pools, and was in there all day, in the house, running around naked, in closets, in rooms, just booby meat everywhere. Just chest out. Just was booby forward. Just walking around booby first all night. So you see Tedros and Jocelyn beginning to talk and, kind of recreating stuff from last time. Talking about music, and you also see Leia getting intimate with Isaac. And in the middle of them doing all of that, you see Tedros starting to lay down his seeds. He's starting to plant seeds. He's asking Leia if she's ever done cocaine. He introduces her to it. And I think this is where he starts to kind of get people up under. I think we're seeing how he gets people up under his spell. I'm gonna get you strung out, get you high, promise you the world, give you a career, or give you somebody else's career, and that's what it's gonna be. So as Leia and Isaac get intimate, she wants to know how, because she's doing some investigative work for the management team, because she's still, at the end of the day, Jocelyn's best friend, but also a part of her team. So she's gonna report back to Destiny and Haim. Isaac was like, Tedros stepped into my parents' church. They're both pastors. He gave me an identity, X, Y, and Z. Found myself, through him, something to that effect. He helped me become me and helped me become who I am today. All of that stuff. He was like, everybody knows Tedros. And let's see here. We see Jocelyn and Tedros in her room. The girl Chloe in the closet getting dressed, undressed, watching them. Tedros is sitting in a chair, talking some real interesting things, using some real interesting words that you would only see in movies after dark that I can't repeat here. One of them starts with a C word or starts with a C. And it was just so funny because you just don't generally hear words like that in everyday language. I don't hear words like that in everyday language anyway. Not in everyday conversation. I don't think a lot of people do. Let's see. So he's directing her. She blindfolded because she wanted to play like last time when they made that one song. By the way, this episode is named after Double Fantasy, which is the first single off of the Idol soundtrack, which features Future. And I actually love that song. It's actually on a playlist, when I get to get up and work out. That and Popular are on there, rock out. So he's kind of narrating, fantasies while Jocelyn is dancing around the room, blindfolded, whatever the case may be. Do this, do that, do that, do this. And he finally goes over there and some things happen. It's a lot of dialogue in this scene. And we see, Jocelyn kind of perform some stuff. And then they wake up and Jocelyn got a cigarette and, he's like, let's turn some songs into the label. Let's turn in 3 tracks. We could do it over 2 weeks. And I probably should move in for work purposes. So this is how he's laying down the con man roots. Because I truly feel that the whole cult, I think they all live in the club. I really do. I think they live in that. I think they live there. So, looks like Isaac, Chloe, I think Diane already had stayed there or will be staying there because I don't even think that they know Diane knows him. So the whole crew gonna be moving into the spot. And she agrees. Chloe's downstairs playing piano, singing, and Isaac joins in the sing-along, and also too Jocelyn joins in. Leia stands in horror. Kind of like, what the hell is happening to this house that I live in and that I have my career in? What is happening? In the episode, we also hear Haim say that he's covering half the mortgage and that he can't afford it anymore because Jocelyn's not putting out any material. She's not on tour. She's not making music. She's not putting out anything they can market and make money on. And she's almost broke. And this is probably going to seal the fate of her being completely broke once this is all said and done. I like the fact that the show, getting into my own personal thoughts, I like the fact that the show doesn't hop from scene to scene within 30 seconds because those types of shows are very hard to keep up with and it makes you feel like you're watching something that will be created for TikTok. It really does make it hard to focus like, wait a minute, hold on, and you miss a lot. Granted, I like shows where a lot of different things happen, but it's like there's a scene every 30 seconds, like boom, 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 boom. They try to fit so much into the episodes that you almost miss, what happened. And then it leads to people saying, you know what, I can't even focus and keep up. I'm going to just stop watching it. I'll come back another day. And then you never go back. But I like the fact that we get an insight into what some of these girls have gone through because this has definitely got to be a take on some of the things that The Weeknd has probably seen, probably experienced in the industry, probably things that his friends have told him about because he's worked with everyone. And I love the fact that we get almost a behind the scenes look at how some of the girls have been treated, how they've dealt with some of the things they've gone through, and how really when they're so fragile and broken down, how they can get taken advantage of and how they can get snatched in and roped into, a con man's web. Because we've seen it. We've seen it happen by their family, by their friends, by relationships, and this is how it happens. It really does happen with a relationship with the wrong one. All of a sudden, it's like, wait a minute, you controlling the whole thing. The whole thing is being controlled, and all of a sudden somebody got power of attorney. All of a sudden somebody got control over everything, and all of a sudden money done been blown. You know, we've seen it happen. To R&B, to pop, to hip hop, we've seen it happen with women in these marriages that suck you dry, just bleed you dry. That said, I enjoyed the episode. What did you guys think? What do you guys want to see from the show? What other guest appearances do you think we'll see? I'm not sure when other people who are supposed to be on the show will pop up. I do think that Jenny is dope on the show. I wonder when everything will start to unfold a little bit more, but I do like the pace that it's going. I think we're supposed to get 8 or 10 episodes. I'm not sure. I know reviews are interesting out there about the show. Again, I like it. I'm going to keep reviewing it. Anyways, y'all, leave your thoughts, comments, likes, share, subscribe, all of that. It's completely free. Tell me what you thought, and then, as usual, I'll be back next week. But this was my review of The Idol, Season 1, Episode 2, Double Fantasy. Thank y'all for tuning in.